Hello and welcome to On the Bench, the only weekly sports discussion show for the Lincolnshire and Humber region right here on Channel 7. I'm Rachel Chadwick. On today's show, we'll be discussing the stories that have been making the headlines in the world of sport this week and asking our studio guests here to share their opinions on what's been going on. And as usual, we'll be taking your questions later in the show and pitching them to our resident experts, Tom and Stu, in A View from the Estuary. Joining us on the bench this week is Anthony Clarke from Grimsby Harriers Athletics Club and Mary Vickers, who is North East Lincolnshire's Chaplain. It's great to have you both on the show.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your role, because Mary, you're the workplace chaplain, is that right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm workplace chaplain. So a chaplain's basically a vicar without a church or outside a church. So I spend my life at the moment visiting lots of workplaces, from the many food factories that there are in North East Lincolnshire through to the airport, the police, the courts, Freshly Place. So that's
quite
what
diverse.
Oh, quite diverse, yeah.
Brilliant. And you've got quite a strong thread in that through the sports in the local area as well, haven't you?
Well, not so much locally at the moment, but yeah, I mean, I've worked as a chaplain in the past in different contexts. One of those has been sports chaplaincy nationally and internationally. And I was one of the chaplains at the Olympics last year.
Oh, great. That must have been such a great experience for you.
It was good. I was based at the rowing and canoeing athletes village, so just outside London. But it was exciting time, yeah.
Yeah, it was a great time for all of us, so it would have been really great to experience that. And Anthony, Grimsby Harriers Athletics Club, I was a member years ago, but tell other people about the club a little bit for me.
Yep, the club was formed in 1886, so we're well over 100 years old now. We cater for 7-year-olds to 70-year-olds, every track and field event going, national competitions. So, yep, we just want to get grassroots level involved.
Fantastic. So it's a real kind of local feel to it. Everybody can get involved and just try something.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to getting your opinions and your views on things later on in the show. Also on the show this week, our reporter Matt Denson was invited down for a training session with Anthony's Grimsby Harriers Athletics Club. So we'll take a look at how he got on down there, and he'll be joining us later on in the show for a bit of a chat. So a packed show for us as usual, but first let's take a look at the news headlines. A fantastic Wimbledon came to a close on Sunday with Andy Murray being crowned champion, ending a 77-year wait for a British winner. Murray beat world number 1 Novak Djokovic in 3 sets in an enthralling match. More on that later on. Sebastian Vettel won his first German Grand Prix on Sunday, extending his lead in the championship to 34 points. Lotus finished second and third, completing the podium. And finally, Luke Campbell's first professional fight will take place this Saturday, 13th of July, at Craven Park in Hull. This is sure to be a massive boost for the area. Mary, how good is this to bring something like this to this local area?
I mean, it's really good for the area. So often, you know, when people turn professional or when there's big events, it ends up down in London. So, I mean, I think Luke's been very canny in making sure it happens in his hometown, really. So I think it's good for the area. Yeah,
definitely. And Anthony, how do you think he'll get on in his first professional fight?
I think he'll do all right. I mean, with a home crowd, he'll have everything to play for and everything to fight for. So he will really go for it and do the area proud.
Well, that's what we're hoping, definitely. So I just want to talk about something in the local area that is affecting us, because Grimsby Town have their first opponents, Aldershot, in the next few weeks. And actually Aldershot are facing a really big issue where they've got to raise £50,000 in order to not even just survive as in this league, but survive as a club. How big of an issue is this in terms of finances in football, Mary? Do you see this quite a lot?
I mean, I often say, you know, obviously things like the Olympics couldn't exist without sport. And actually nowadays sport can't exist without money. You can say all sorts of nasty things and a lot of good things about sponsorship and things like that. And money is vital. I have to declare a slight interest because I used to live in Aldershot. So
there you go.
But I live here now, so. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard. And of course, in the Football League, I know we're non-league, but I presume it's the same, that they get fined for running out of money. So you get doubly got. So it's...
Yeah, it is a really difficult issue. I mean, what's the kind of incentive for people to invest in a club like this, do you think, Anthony?
It's really tricky, I think. Obviously, the lower down the league, the more risk you're putting into the money, and there's no guarantees you're going to get any returns out of it. So you are doing it for the passion and the love of the sport.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can hope for, I suppose, that somebody that passionate can invest in the club like that. And that it's bizarre to think that £50,000 is a drop in an ocean to Premier League players. That's 1 week's wages, less than. You know, and that's affecting a local club in such a big way. It's just, is it something that's kind of fair, do you think, Mary?
I think well, I don't think it's fair. I mean, I think a lot of people think of football as being a rich sport, forgetting that apart from the Premiership and maybe a bit of the Championship, it's not a rich sport. It's like lots of other sports. It's scrabbling around for money and depends on benefactors and enthusiasts who've got money as well as enthusiasm. So it's always going to be a dilemma lower down. It's the same with women's sport. It's the same with any non-football sport. Money is a big issue because it isn't there.
And I think this issue of money in football throws up so many opinions. We could talk about it all night. So thank you for your viewpoints on that one. Now, if you've sent any questions in to the boys at the View from the Estuary, have a look and see if you're on this VT now. So we're going to hear from Stu and Tom.
Hello and welcome. It's this week's View from the Estuary.
Definitely, I think it'll stop a repeat of 2005 when obviously certain tyres let the teams down.
Yeah.
So they should be able to choose what company they want, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think also as well you've got to look at maybe the governing body of Formula One doesn't necessarily have to choose a tyre supplier. Maybe get it down to the individual teams. You could have Sauber saying they want one tyre supplier, maybe a Toro Rosso saying another tyre supplier, and your Red Bulls or Ferraris saying that they want a certain tyre supplier, maybe.
It'll force companies as well to improve the tyres and, you know, go the extra mile to make sure they're more reliable. Yeah. So they're fighting, if you like, for the contract for the teams. Yeah. So it's more competition that way as well, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be a very good idea.
Yeah, definitely. I think underdogs have always won games anyway.
Yeah.
But more so this season, as you say, the big clubs have had big changes.
Yeah, and especially in this coming season, you've got your Chelseas, your Man Cities and your Man U's, all with totally new managers, bringing in their own players. Obviously, David Moyes at Man U's bringing in his coaching staff. Will it aid the players for Man U?
Opposing that as well, the underdog clubs, if you like, they've got stability. They've got the same managers going into the season. They've got the same squad. So that might be a benefit in the cup games, you don't know.
Yeah, you just got to look at West Brom last season. They were underdogs. Fair enough, they didn't win a trophy. But who'd have thought they'd finish in the top half of the table? And obviously, they've just made a big signing as well. Many people wouldn't have thought he'd gone there in Nicholas Anelka.
Big statement for the league and obviously for the cup competitions. And so yeah, underdogs, I think they're going to win.
Yeah,
they're going to win something.
It'll be quite a good season.
Not at all for me. No, he shouldn't have said that. You've got to care what your fans think. I know he wants to impress his coaches and make them happy. You know, that's all he wants to do. But you need to care about your fans.
You've got to think as well about there'll be young kids out there as well who think, oh, I want to be the next Jonathan Trott. If he's going out there not caring what the fans think, you know, it doesn't look good as a role model in professional sport. You know, Wayne Rooney in football wouldn't say anything like that. He wants to know what the fans think of him.
It's important that you think about your fans because they support your club, they support your team, they support the sport as a whole.
They support you.
Yeah, you need to respect your fans and, you know, think about what they want. Personally, I think not.
It's
you
going to
look
be
at the
hard.
players they've lost, they need to replace them. As you say, they've only signed 3 players.
Yeah, and they're all midfielders as well. You know, there's many other positions what they need to fill. They need a few defenders. They've got rid of a few of them. Another goalkeeper as well to go with James McKeown. Otherwise, he's going to think that he can just walk into the team and maybe not give his all like he did last season.
Well, you look at the heartache of last season, you know, reaching a final, not winning, you know, not getting promoted. It's going to, obviously, players are losing confidence. And the players have left that you know were involved with that season. So there's new players that need to learn the ropes, if you know what I mean.
I think it'll all depend. Obviously, pre-season's just about to start for Grimsby on Tuesday. Can we look at pre-season and say, actually, we think we can? We can't because they haven't signed enough players. They need a couple of forwards in at least.
Most definitely, yeah.
A couple of goal scorers.
We'll have to wait, I think, and you know, for the season to start.
Yeah, no team in the conference is an easy run.
Thank you for your questions this week. If you've got a question for us, you can use facebook.com/onthebenchtv, or you can tweet us as well. It's at onthebenchtv is our Twitter address. Thank you for your questions. See you next week.
Some really good talking points there, and it most certainly got me thinking, so I hope it did you too. We're always keen to hear about your thoughts and opinions, so remember to get in touch with us by tweeting the hashtag #OnTheBenchTV or find our Facebook page and maybe you'll prompt a discussion here On The Bench. Join us after the break for more discussion from our guests and see how Matt Sweaty Denson got on down at the Grimsby Harriers. See you in a bit. Welcome back to the show. Now, Lance Armstrong has been hitting the headlines again this week with the astonishing claim that performance-enhancing drugs will always be a part of the sport of cycling. Armstrong made the claim himself after he was stripped of his 7 Tour titles and given a lifetime ban for using drugs last year. He claims that it would be impossible to win the title these days without that extra help. On the other hand, however, Christian Prudhomme, the General Director of the Tour de France, responded to Armstrong's claims with a very strong statement of maybe the only way for Armstrong to win was for him to take drugs. No better way of coming back from that, methinks. The American implied all recent winners of the race, including Sir Bradley Wiggins last year, must have taken some form of illegal substance. An outrageous statement from Armstrong. Anthony, what are your thoughts on this?
It's an absolute ludicrous statement to make. You don't need drugs to get involved in sport and have fun and be at the highest level with it. So it's just ludicrous and an excuse.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we kind of talked before about how he's maybe trying to dig himself out of a hole.
Yeah, it's highly likely that he's just trying to bring everyone down to his level.
Yeah, I mean, Mary, what did you think of this story when it came out?
Well, I say I think he's been found out, so let's drag everybody down with me and say that it wasn't only me that was doing this, it's everybody. And I agree with Anthony. I mean, there is a lot of pressure on top flight sports people in any sport, not just cycling, and some sports have more of a reputation for having drug problems than others. But the pressure is there. And I mean, it's actually us, the public, and those people who fund it that put the pressure on sometimes. But I agree with what Anthony said, that actually you can do sport and you can succeed without drugs.
Absolutely. And picking up on your point there, you know, do we see it in other sports? Is it something that's more common than we think, do you think, Anthony?
I actually think it's a lot less common than people think. You know, a lot of sports, athletics for example, do a lot of testing, especially at the highest levels, and they do an awful lot of testing, which you wouldn't think regularly as well. So it's not as common as people think, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So that's something that I think hopefully will be a positive that's come out of this story.
Yeah.
And, you know, hopefully the nation and international people will get behind, you know, the sport of cycling and really support the Sky team and all the others. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Such a contentious issue to discuss. I'm sure we could go on. Armstrong has certainly fueled the debate. Now, moving on, let's take a look at how our reporter Matt Denson got on this week when he went down to train with Anthony and the Grimsby Harriers Athletics Club.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm at King George Stadium, going to meet the Grimsby Harriers, have a bit of fun with athletics. Last time I did it was at school, so a long time ago, so I have a lot to learn. Come inside, come and join me, see how well we get on. No laughing. Anthony, how are you doing? I'm fine, I'm head coach, Grimsby Harriers.
Yes, head coach, that's right.
Now I understand you're going to put me through my paces today.
Yeah, we're going to do a bit of multi-eventing with you today. So we're going to do a bit of high jumping, a bit of shot put, a bit of discus, and we're going to do a bit of running on the track with you.
So I'm going to need some energy today, is that right?
Lots of energy, lots of enthusiasm, and lots of fun.
Well, I look forward to putting me through my paces.
Okay, that's great.
Thank you.
What we're going to try and get Matt to do is use the springboard and clear the board, clear the bar in doing the Fosbury flop in the high jump.
The Frosby flop?
Yes. That's
Okay.
what it's now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to have a go at that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use the board to do it.
Yes.
Good luck, eh?
So we'll just do your short run up
Okay.
and show you how to do it.
Fantastic.
All right.
Let's do it.
Right.
Let's try it.
This will be a good one.
I'll go through you guys, I want. Right, sweet. Ready?
Yeah.
I forgot, didn't I? Have you warmed up? Have you? No. I don't feel so bad now
Set. Go!
Where are you? Where are you? Oh, yeah. So, Pat, hello, thank you.
Hiya.
Thanks for having us. Now, we've come across to your event.
Yeah, I'm a throws coach. I've been a throws coach for 12 years for the Grimsby Harriers. Start off real small and get real hard. We put kids through, and adults through a regime of training, and then we go from discus, hammer, shot, javelin, varying sizes.
And you've got 2 disciplines for me today, and those 2 disciplines are?
Discus and hammer.
Let's give it a go.
You will do.
Let's do
no
it.
Problem.
So Anthony, we've got you on the bench. I'm just cooling down from doing a bit of training with yourself.
Yep.
Did I do all right?
You did very well. I'm very impressed. Very good feedback from the throwing coach in particular.
That's pure luck, but don't tell anybody. Look, how would people get involved?
Dead simple. All I need to do is come down on a Monday and a Wednesday from around 6 o'clock and come and have a go. We have a motto really, have a go at everything, because you never know if you can do something until you've had a go.
Perfect. And I presume this coaches here will look at each other and look at people and see what they can do.
Yep, we have dedicated groups for youngsters and then older athletes from 15 upwards. We have a move around different coaches.
Wow, what a great evening. Been to Grimsby Harriers, absolutely put me with paces. I've been doing shot put, javelin, hammer throwing, running. I've been beating every sport. You've got to enjoy it. Get yourself down here. King George Stadium in Cleethorpes. Many other places you can go to. Get yourself involved. I'm worn out. I'm time for a break. Take it away, Eddie.
And Matt joins us now. How was it?
It's great. Really good fun. Really good fun. It's very surprising this week because I didn't know what to expect with athletics. I thought I'd go down there and do one event. But I didn't. I did quite a few different ones. And I met a lot of people, a lot of age ranges. Really good. Really good. Family orientated. I think that's the thing I'll take away with this, is that anyone can have a go. Really, really good.
Good. And Anthony, how did he get on really? Come on, you can be honest.
No, he actually did really well. And it's all about having a go. He had a go at lots of different events. And it's all about having that go, seeing what you can do, and enjoying it and having fun.
Just trying anything that you think you might be good at. Or...
And even if you don't think you're going to be good at it, have a go anyway, because you probably will be better than you think.
I've got to second that, because they threw me into the deep end on a few events, on things I would never even have tried before ever, and really enjoyed it. You know, when you come away from something thinking, I'm pleased I had a go at that. So I would encourage anybody, if you're unsure of something to do, whether it's individually or as part of the family, get yourself down to the Athletics Club.
And I bet you're the fittest you've ever been, aren't you?
Do I look fit?
Okay, so Wimbledon yesterday, we've got to mention this just as a final point because it was so brilliant watching it. I had it on the iPad, it was absolutely fantastic. Did you watch it?
I did watch some of it.
Did you guys watch it?
A bit of it.
A bit? And Anthony?
I was at an athletic match, but we had it on the tannoy.
Right, okay. Well, it was absolutely brilliant, I can tell you, because I watched all 3 sets. I was there for the long haul. I thought we were going to be there a lot longer, but fair play to him. We did really well. So congratulations to Andy Murray on the Wimbledon Championship and ending a 77-year wait for it. Can't really get much longer before we start to get bored.
We could have gone 78.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound as good.
Doesn't sound as good. No, he did very well.
7th of the 7th, ending the 77 years. Wait.
It's a one of your facts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great facts. Great facts.
Good fat one.
We start at 0 again, then he's got to defend it, hasn't he?
Well, this is the thing, and he's got the US Open next.
Correct.
So
he's got to be good.
Defend that.
Yeah. He did very, very well.
He did, beating number 1. So I think he'll go to number 2 ranking now, I believe.
Was he not number 2?
No, he's number 3.
Wow. Okay, so he's always going up.
Yes.
One place to go.
Increase. That's all we've got time for this week, but we will be back next week for more discussion. Thank you to our guests tonight, Anthony and Mary Vickers. Thank you for joining us and getting involved in the show too. If you have sent in your questions for the View from the Estuary, we'll see you next week here on the bench. Take care. See you soon.